The Corpus Christi Cathedral is opening its doors after nearly a year of renovations. A look at the changes you can expect to see.
Plus, I've got some good news for pool owners that could save you some money, as well as reduce your water consumption.
And with the delay for an Inner Harbor desalination plant, residents are expressing concerns about the ongoing drought, what they're demanding from the city. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for waking up with the Hoffmans. I'm Michelle Hoffman.
And I'm Brian Hoffman. Hope you all are having a fantastic Thursday so far. Weekend is so close up on us. We got to make sure that the rest of the week is looking pretty nice, though, because we had some precipitation a little bit earlier. Meteorologist Stephen Jones has all the answers, though. How you doing, sir?
Well, good morning, you guys. You know, pretty well this Thursday. Like you said, we still have a few of those showers this morning, and I'm expecting additional development as we see the sun come up going through the next few hours, of course, but luckily it doesn't look quite as widespread as what we had yesterday. So hopefully not as many downpours or flash flood warnings going out, but still want to remain weather aware as we're heading into our Thursday. Here's a view from our studio Skycam, and you can see just dealing with the cloud cover right now here in Corpus Christi. And on the radar, most of the showers have started to dry up for us. We did have a little bit more activity into Refugio County and B County, but still seeing just a little bit of activity. Most of it started to dry up, but like I talked about, we will see additional development. Temperature-wise, in the 70s for the majority of us. 73 degrees out there in Beeville, 72 right now in San Diego, with that 75-degree mark over by Robstown, and the warm spot, Port Aransas, sitting at 80 degrees so far. As we go through the rest of our Thursday, going to be on the warm-up, of course, expecting that additional development, especially as we go into the later morning hours and the early afternoon. Could find yourself under a couple of quick downpours as we're heading out towards that lunchtime hour. Temperatures into the 80s, 86 by 3 p.m., and then topping out about 88 degrees for my forecast here in Corpus Christi. Maybe still a couple of those lower 90s as you work your way towards Duval County or Jim Wells County, but most of us should be stopping shy in those upper 80s as we're heading into the afternoon, but want to keep that umbrella on standby through the next few days with those rain chances still around. Of course, let's get you ready for your Thursday morning, though, as you're getting ready to hit the roadways. On the traffic flow map, so far it's been shaping up pretty good. We haven't been tracking any of those major slowdowns, at least if you're hitting the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland, looking at that good and green color flow, and that's going to be the same for our Robstown and Calallen commuters. Both 37 and 44 luckily coming in the clear with only minor slowdowns showing themselves there on Leopard Street, but not too bad over there. Let's check in on our major thoroughfares here in town. Ocean Drive, SPID, and Saratoga all looking good and green this morning, as well as Crosstown Expressway if you're taking that roadway. One more detour inland. Good morning to neighbors out there in Sinton. So far, so good. No slowdowns on Pirate Boulevard or downtown, so a good and green Thursday morning across the board. Of course, we'll get you a closer look at that future tracker coming up in our full 7-day forecast.
So the Corpus Christi Cathedral reopening its doors this evening, folks.
Renovations have been underway for nearly a year. Some of the features include new floors, fresh paint, and a new altar. There's also improvements to the lighting and sound system. One of the new additions is a chapel of Our Lady of Guadalupe. It's part of the transformation that seeks to enrich the spiritual experience of the parishioners.
The Corpus Christi Cathedral is the centerpiece of the entirety of the diocese, and so to see it beautified and dignified in this way, both inside and out, is going to be very important.
You can check out the renovations during the Feast of Corpus Christi Mass at 6. Doors open this evening at 5.
So, folks, if you've been looking at the cost of a pool cover and thinking, there's got to be a better option, I've got an update for you. Last week, I asked the city a question many pool owners have been wondering about. Can you use additives like Solar Shield instead of a traditional pool cover under the Stage 3 water restrictions rules? Well, at the time, city staff didn't have an answer for me, but this week I got one. As you know, Stage 3 water restrictions require pool owners who fill their pools to take steps to reduce evaporation. Most people think that means buying a physical pool cover, but now the city tells me residents can use additives like Solar Shield or an alternative, and that's an alternate option. It uses liquid evaporation barrier that's also used in public pools and water features like the water gardens. Big question is cost. Some Solar Shield products sell for about $24 on Amazon. For an average pool of about 15,000 gallons, one bottle could last approximately 6 months. A traditional pool cover can cost anywhere from from $150 all the way up to $700 for those hard covers. So while a cover may save money over the long run, Solar Shield or an alternative could offer low-cost options up front for home owners trying to comply with these restrictions.
I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Jacob Daniels, and I'm talking to my community about City Council's decision Tuesday night to delay things even longer. City Council spent hours debating the Inner Harbor desalination plant, but leaders put off a final vote once again. And I spoke with people living in the area that say they worry about ongoing drought issues, and they want the city to take action now to secure a backup water supply.
We need to get on the ball, get it done, and make sure we have a backup for our water supply. To keep the industry going in the city, to keep it where the economy is good in the city.
The decision on the desalination plant remains on hold for now. Neighbors say protecting the water supply is essential for the entire community to move forward.
The Department of Agriculture says a case of flesh-eating New World screwworms has been detected in South Texas. It's the first time this parasitic fly has been detected in U.S. livestock in decades. The screwworm fly looks harmless enough, like a regular housefly, but their eggs hatch into maggots, burrowing in and eating living flesh. A goat with screwworms was found last month in Mexico near the U.S. border. Climate change is being cited as a likely reason they could soon move into Texas.
Ford is telling some owners to stop driving their vehicles immediately. The urgent recall covers 4,600 Bronco Sports and Mavericks. Front wheel part can actually disconnect and cause an immediate crash. The recall impacts certain Bronco Sports from 2021 to 2026. It also includes Mavericks from 2022 to 2026. Dealers will inspect and make the repairs for free.
Parents can now open what's known as a Trump account. It's a special savings account for U.S. citizens 17 and under. For children born between January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2028, the federal government will put in $1,000 when you open the account, but deposits can't be made until next month. Then you can deposit up to $5,000 per year until the child turns 18. So how do you know if this account is right for your family?
But you need to think about, what is the purpose of this money? Do you want it to be used for higher education or education more generally? Is this going to be for them to have flexibility to put a down payment on a home in their 20s or 30s?
You can deposit up to $10,000 in annual expenses for the tuition, and that money won't be taxed by the federal government. We're exactly 1 month away from celebrating our nation's 250th birthday.
Exciting. And after the break, we'll tell you about one mayor's 7-year journey to fly a single American flag over every state capital and show you his mission to celebrate America. Welcome back, folks. So what started as a pretty simple idea to proudly display the flag turned into a much bigger mission to celebrate the country on its 250th anniversary.
Glendale, Arizona's mayor set out to have a flag made in his home state fly high above all 50 state capitals. Scripps News Group's Javier Soto sat down with the mayor to discuss his years-long mission for the Great American Flag Tour.
And this is the flag that went on the tour.
For 7 years, this American flag traveled thousands of miles across the country, stopping at every single state capital in the United States.
I think I was 16 years old, our bicentennial, and I remember what such a big deal that was. You couldn't go anywhere without red, white, and blue. It's that everybody had flags displayed.
That was the idea behind the Great American Flag Tour. So Glendale Mayor Jerry Wires started making calls, asking for permission to fly the Stars and Stripes.
And we started off originally with them going, "You want to do what?" Said, "Well, we have a flag we want to fly." "Well, what kind of flag do you have?" "It's an American flag." "Well, we have American flags. We'll just send you one." No, I need my flag.
From California to Maine, Texas to Alaska, Old Glory crisscrossed the country, carried by Mayor Wires on a mission.
Mayor, doing that and accomplishing that, How does that make you feel?
Got to see how other states' legislature was, how their capitals were, and that was pretty special. I got to meet some incredible people. It's some fascinating stories.
One of the most fascinating, the stop at the White House, where Secret Service was concerned about what he was holding.
When they told me, do not give this flag to the president under any circumstance, I'm thinking, I'm going to get tackled here. They're going to arrest me and haul me out. And I said, sir, I can't give you the flag. He goes, why? And I said, well, number one is because they told me not to. And then number two is, I just want to get a picture with this flag.
The president sent the mayor a letter of recognition as the nationwide tour continued. The last stop, the Great State 48, flying over the Arizona state capitol, proving even during divided times, the red, white, and blue is still a symbol of freedom for 250 years.
What's the celebration of 250 years mean to you?
It means an awful lot to me. I want the young kids to understand what our forefathers did, what they fought for, how people lost everything. People lost their lives. They lost their properties. The gamble they took in this, what they call a great American experience.
And that was Javier Soto reporting. As you may know, we will have various stories celebrating America leading up to our nation's 250th celebration.
And you can check out our website for that. All you have to do is go to christv.com/America250. There you're going to find all those different stories highlighting our nation.
On the evening of July 4th, we'll have a 1-hour program for America 250 right here on Chris 6. The special starts at 6 o'clock.
Well, good Thursday morning there. Coastal Bend, taking a look at our almanac data from yesterday, ended up topping out at 83 degrees for that daytime high thanks to the rain-cooled air. Well shy of that record 99 we set back there in 2009, and luckily received a little bit of rainfall that put us back over an inch in terms of a surplus for 2026, and hopefully we see that number continue to climb as we head through the next few days with the rain chances hanging around. In terms of the Doppler radar over the past 3 hours, we did have a little bit of activity to the north of Corpus Christi, mainly towards San Patricio, Refugio, and then B counties, but has since started to dry up, and on the current radar looking pretty clear out there as you're heading out for your morning commute. But keep in mind, we're likely to see additional development as we head for the later morning hours and the afternoon hours. For our studio sky cam, that gorgeous sunrise on our hands, 75 degrees here in Corpus Christi with winds out of the east at 5 miles an hour and just a decent amount of cloud cover here in Corpus Christi so far. We're going to see that as we go through the rest of our day as well. Temperature wise, not looking too jacket worthy out there. 80 on the money in Port Aransas right now, 79 for Rockport and the Naval Air Station, 75 from Robstown, and then as you work your way inland, Freer going to be the cool spot sitting at 72 degrees so far. For our dog walking forecast today, we've got Peanut on the board here from Nueces County, and says their favorite place to go for a walk is over just in any of the neighborhoods. And as we're going out for Peanut's walk, going to be on the warm up, 82 degrees by 10 a.m. up to 85 by that noon hour, with winds out of the east this morning about 5 to 10 miles an hour, starting to get a more southeasterly component as we head into the afternoon though. In terms of the future tracker today, going to watch for that additional development as we head into the later morning hours and the early afternoon. Likely to see some more of those pop-up showers and storms. Could find ourselves with a downpour or two as we're heading out for that lunchtime hour to the afternoon. Holding on to a few of those isolated showers as we go towards the evening time frame before they finally start to dry up after sunset. And then going into tomorrow, looks like more of the same with those isolated showers to kick off our day by about 6 to 7 a.m. And as we go through the rest of the day, still holding on to that light shower activity, but overall doesn't look as widespread in coverage in what we experienced yesterday at least. For our rain chances through the next few days, still looks like a good idea to keep that umbrella on standby. Going to hold on to the rain chances it looks like into the weekend. By Saturday and Sunday, still dealing with a little bit of that isolated shower activity, especially into the mornings it looks like, but I wouldn't cancel all of those outdoor plans. I don't think it's going to be a total washout. In terms of the rainfall estimates, only looking at closer to a ½ inch, if not 3/4 of an inch, unless you find yourself under one of those heaviest thunderstorms, and the downpours from that could get you up to 1 to 2 inches pretty quickly, maybe even 3 inches under some of those highest totals. So make sure to always turn around, don't drown if you do run into any of those heaviest downpours, putting some water on the roadways. Here's how it's going through the next few days, because we still have the thunder showers around through about Saturday before they finally start to dry up heading into Sunday and Monday, it looks like, of next week. And then the heat returns, still 90 degrees by Sunday into Monday, 89 for Tuesday and Wednesday. Overnight lows following that similar trend, pretty muggy out there from 76 degrees tonight, 78 degrees as we're getting ready to kick off next week.
to know. Stephen, thank you so much. Folks, it's now 6:17 on your Thursday morning.
Thanks for joining us. Well, we're going to have the latest on the conflict in the Middle East as tensions rise. President Trump saying he may or may not expect a deal with Iran this weekend.
This morning, we have dramatic new images of the Iranian strike on International Airport in U.S. ally Kuwait. One person was killed. Meanwhile, the U.S. military says it shot down Iranian drones near the Strait of Hormuz and attacked a military installation on an island. Despite the rising tensions, President Trump says a peace deal could come soon.
If it happens, and it might not happen, who knows? But if it happens, it could happen like over the weekend.
The House passed a resolution directing President Trump to stop the war unless Congress gives its approval.
Well, 2 research scientists are now facing charges for smuggling viruses into the United States. Now, prosecutors say the 2 men from Montana flew on a commercial plane from the Republic of the Congo. They allegedly lied to customs officers about what was inside a large plastic case. The FBI later found vials of deactivated monkeypox, chickenpox, and human DNA. Well, Elon Musk's SpaceX preparing for the biggest public stock offering in history. The company plans to sell more than 555 million shares at $135 each. That puts the total value of the company at $1.77 trillion. The blockbuster debut could make Musk the first ever trillionaire. SpaceX will officially start trading on June 12th. So, Whitecap Beach getting some recognition this morning. Love to see it. That's our favorite spot.
After the break, we're at the Coastal Bend ranks in the best beaches in Texas.
Now, say hello to your neighbors. This is your Chris 6 News Sunrise Shoutouts.
Hello, Chris 6 Sunrise team. My name is Brianna Platts, and I wanted to give a shout out and a warm welcome to all the communities here on the west side, and just welcome. Excited to be in this community with y'all.
Hey, good morning yourself. She actually got a new house from Habitat for Humanity. Congrats there. I hope you have a great day as well. If you want to send in your own shout out, folks, we'd love to see you. Scan that QR code you see on the screen or head on over to our website, christv.com. So the latest list of best Texas beaches is putting a focus right here on the Coastal Bend this morning. The USA Today report shows that Rockport Beach in the number 2 spot. Malachi Beach ranks 3rd. South Beach comes in 7th. Mustang Island State Park secures number 4. Whitecap Beach rounds it out at the top 5. Visitors say that they love having these highly rated spots so close to home.
Being a Texan, a native Texan, I'm proud. I love that it's just a few hours away from my home. I can come out and enjoy it, relax.
Ivy McGee Beach in Port Aransas also made the cut. It secured the number 10 spot on the list. All right, folks, it is time. Let's talk about some NBA Finals basketball, right? The San Antonio Spurs, I should say, stunned on their home court in Game 1.
And the New York Knicks are now waking up this morning as favorites to win the series. Rookie Dylan Harper came out on fire in the first quarter, helping the Spurs build an early lead. The star of the first half was Julian Champagnie, who hit 5 3-pointers for the Spurs. But in the second half, the Knicks built a comeback, taking the lead in the fourth quarter and never looking back, going on to win Game 1 by a final of 105-95. Center Victor Wembanyama struggled in this game, shooting 6 for 21 and going 2 of 9 from beyond the 3-point line. After the game, Spurs head coach spoke about his superstar struggles.
He missed a few shots early, and we got to get him moving in space and towards the rim, whether that's on rolls or running in transition, but we need the pressure on the rim and the force in the paint. And then they did a good job, obviously, being physical and showing crowds, but, we need to do a better job of establishing that early on, for sure.
The Spurs will look to bounce game and even the series tomorrow night. Game 2 from inside the Frost Bank Center is set for 7:30. A popular summer event gets underway today.
That's right. What you can expect later on this evening of this year's Bay Jammin' Concert Series gets underway. Corpus Christi gearing up for a major hurricane evacuation drill. We'll tell you how you and your pets can volunteer to help out emergency crews practice next.
Plus, in Jim Wells County, there are frustrations over a rise in illegal dumping. How you can help prevent this costly issue.
And the recent rain brought unwanted guests to the city of Corpus Christi and surrounding areas too. We'll tell you how to protect yourself from those swarming mosquitoes. Hey there, folks. Good morning. If you're just joining us, thanks for waking up with the Hoffmans. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. Folks, it is now Thursday, Friday Junior, as we like to call it. Let's check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones because we're all looking forward to the weekend. Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Well, good morning, you guys. You know, we are almost there. Just one more work day to get through as we go into tomorrow. Still holding on to some of those scattered showers today, tomorrow, and it looks like even a little bit into the weekend if you're already making those weekend plans. But I wouldn't cancel all of them. It's not going to be a total washout for us. Only expecting those scattered showers still as we're heading into our Saturday. Similar to what we've seen this morning already, some of that isolated shower development. Luckily, as we're getting ready for that morning commute, looking like most of it has dried up, just holding on to one very tiny shower there closer to the south side, but we'll see if we get any more as we go through about the next hour or two. Temperature-wise, waking up to those 70s and 80s, 75 degrees in Robstown, 80 degrees as you work your way into Port Aransas. The cooler spot going to be out towards Duval County, Freer, San Diego, and Hebbronville, all coming in towards that 72 degree mark. As we go through the rest of our Thursday, going to be on the warm up though, 83 degrees by 11 a.m. with more of those scattered showers and a few pop-up storms starting to show up as we head into the later morning hours and early afternoon. Should start to dry up once again as we're heading closer to sunset with winds out of the east today about 10 to 15 miles an hour and temperatures in those upper 80s for daytime highs as we're heading into the afternoon. Maybe even a couple of lower 90s as you work your way out west. Going to depend on how much rain does set up as we're going through the day. If we get a little bit more rain clear, might be slightly cooler than what we're seeing on the board here, but either way, looking likely that you'll want to have that umbrella on standby. Still holding on to scattered shower chances through today, tomorrow, and looks like even through the weekend, but not going to be that widespread washout like we talked about. We'll talk a little bit more about that coming up, but of course, let's get you ready for your Thursday morning. On the traffic flow map, it's been pretty good as we're heading out there. Haven't been tracking any of those major slowdowns, at least. If you're hitting the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland, looking at that good and green color flow, that's the same for our Robstown and Cal Allen commuters, both 37 and 44, luckily coming in the clear this morning. For our major roadways here in town, Ocean Drive, SPID, and Saratoga all looking pretty good. Even Crosstown Expressway coming in the good and green, which means one more detour inland. Good morning to neighbors out there in Beeville. So far, so good also on your traffic flow map. So all of us dealing with that good and green Thursday morning. Of course, we'll get a closer look at potential rainfall and that future tracker coming up in our full 7-day forecast.
Stephen, thank you so much. The city of Corpus Christi is preparing for disasters with a major evacuation drill.
And you can help out too. Local and state emergency leaders are teaming up for the training exercise. They want you to help them practice by volunteering as an evacuee. Crews will simulate transporting people to safe locations across the state during a hurricane. You can even bring your pets along for the drill. Animals just need to be on a leash or in a crate.
State leaders are once again blasting Corpus Christi's handling of its water crisis. We received a statement from Governor Greg Abbott's office after city council members chose to delay a decision on a desalination plant Tuesday. It says in part, quote, for the second time in 6 months, the council could have taken meaningful steps to meet the long-term water needs of their citizens. Instead, they chose to bicker, blame, and hide behind excuses and studies rather than take action.
So our community is in mourning for the loss of Denny Bales. Corpus Christi Police Foundation says that the philanthropist and local businessman died yesterday. Bales was the owner of several jewelry stores here in Corpus Christi. He was a longtime supporter of the Gulf Coast Humane Society, Fallen Horse Rescue Mission, and was a founding member of the Corpus Christi Police Foundation.
I'm Melissa Trevino in Alice. Volunteers at the Alice Volunteer Services say they're dealing with a frustrating and costly issue. They are seeing an increase in illegal dumping. I spoke with organizers about the impact it's having and what they hope residents will do differently. For many families in Jim Wells County, Alice Volunteer Services is a lifeline, helping provide food and other basic needs. But organizers say illegal dumping is putting an unnecessary strain on their resources. Volunteer Donald Anderson says this isn't a one-time issue. Recently, Anderson found a broken water pipe, costing money to repair.
We can't be doing things like that. We need the money to help people, not repair broken pipes.
Organizers say it costs about $90,000 a year to buy food for the community, and when money has to go towards cleaning up or fixing damages caused by illegal dumping, that's money taken away from families who need help.
Drivers in Kingsville, watch out for a major road closure today. TxDOT is shutting down East King Avenue at the intersection of 14th Street. Crews are replacing the traffic light in that area. Both eastbound lanes of King Avenue will be closed. The turn lane from North 14th Street heading east is also shutting down. You will also find the right lane closed on 14th Street heading north.
So seniors can get dressed up, hit the dance floor, and make prom memories today. But this isn't for high school students. Anyone 60 and older can get the red carpet treatment and enjoy a free Hollywood-themed prom. Guests can bring their friends and family for an afternoon of dancing. You're encouraged to dress up in your favorite Hollywood outfit. The party starts at 4 o'clock this afternoon over the Portland Community Center.
This evening, the Bay Jam and Concert Series begins in downtown Corpus Christi. It will take place at the amphitheater in Cole Park. The first band is set up to begin at 7:30 until 10:30. The free event was established by a nonprofit back in 1989 and runs on donations. The concert series takes place every Thursday night through August 13th.
So before you head out the door, meteorologist Stephen Jones is going to have a look at your forecast.
And after the break with city spraying to get rid of the pests, there are still concerns from the Cal Allen area. I'll break down what you need to know. Could your bug spray actually attract mosquitoes? We'll explain what a new study reveals about DEET.
Plus, questions are being raised if the controversial anti-weaponization fund is truly being abandoned. What we can expect from Congress with the legislation.
And food banks are struggling to keep up with an increase in demand as millions of Americans lose SNAP benefits due to policy changes. Where shortages are starting and how you can help.
Now, 20 minutes of nonstop news, sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
Hey there, folks. So city officials continuing to spray for mosquitoes today. Thank goodness, too.
Over the past week, we've been reporting that the city has been spraying certain sections of the city each day to keep those pesky mosquitoes away. Today, weather permitting, of course, the city is targeting the Bayfront area and the Flower Bluff area near NAS Corpus Christi. Tomorrow will be the last day of the week. Long spraying and the west side, Los Encinos and Flower Bluff are next on the city's list.
Well, the city of George West has also announced that they will be spraying for mosquitoes this morning. The city reminds people that if citizens are actually seen outside during the time of spraying, the operator must shut off their sprayer and pass that location. Google is seeking permission to release 64 million so-called good mosquitoes in Florida and in California in order to slow down the spread of diseases. They say that they engineered male mosquitoes that are sterile and carry a naturally occurring bacteria that will keep female mosquitoes' eggs from hatching. That means fewer mosquitoes in future generations.
Well, obviously, the mosquito problem is really bugging people across the coastal bend. After a report on the city's mosquito spraying schedule, though, we heard a lot from viewers who say one area in particular is getting overlooked. And as you can see, our Facebook page was flooded with comments from people in Cal Allen who say the mosquitoes there are out of control. The big question, if the problem is so bad, why isn't the area showing up on the city's spraying schedule? Well, according to the city's website, Vector Control uses mosquito traps placed in known breeding areas across the city. Technicians check those traps every day, and spraying routes are determined by how many mosquitoes are caught. So if your neighborhood isn't on the schedule, it just means mosquitoes counts in that area didn't reach the city's spraying threshold. Well, after seeing so many concerns, I wanted to see for myself. I drove out to Calallen, and honestly, it didn't take long. The moment we opened the car door, mosquitoes were trying to get in, so we ended up swatting a few before we could even grab video. I reached out to the city to ask whether there are any plans to spray in the Calallen and Annabelle areas, or if officials might take a second look at conditions there. And I got this statement with no specifics, saying spraying operations are prioritized according to surveillance results and public health needs.
You've probably felt it this week. The itch that won't quit, a buzz in the ear, and a slap on the neck. Corpus Christi's mosquitoes are back. And this time, they brought their friends.
Mosquitoes are terrible. I take the dogs out for a walk every night, and I have to spray them and spray me.
Worst it's been was after that heavy storm. We had a branch fall down, and they've just been swarming it.
So mosquitoes can breed in as little as a bottle cap's worth of water.
Okay, so what actually works? Well, I dug into the science a bit. Okay, weed killer. Oh, here we go. Ooh, a bug zapper. Controls mosquito larvae for 24 hours. This one looks like it's good for puddles. Now, if you didn't know, these products are regulated by the EPA as pesticides. But unlike insecticides, they're designed to repel mosquitoes rather than to kill them. And these active ingredients make it harder for mosquitoes to find and bite you.
So, yes, all good information. Meanwhile, though, a new study in the Journal of Experimental Biology suggests that your bug spray could actually attract mosquitoes. Researchers trained mosquitoes to associate the scent of DEET with blood. They found more than 60% of the insects tried to bite when the smell of DEET was low. Experts say you should not stop using DEET. However, the study highlights the importance of reapplying your repellent regularly.
Or just stay inside, you know, no more going outside during the summer after
She
it rains.
gets bit a couple of times, and she's like, I'm an inside wife now.
You should see my legs.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
no, the mosquitoes definitely attract more onto you because she's a bit sweeter. What about in your household? Are you the one that gets bit more?
You know, I do get bit a little bit more, but you know, you heard it here first. Michelle stated it. Summer's canceled. We're staying indoors for us, I think, as we're heading out there. There's just too much heat, too much rain, and it's too perfect for the mosquitoes out there right now. And that's, I think, what we're going to stay with as we go through the next few days, unfortunately. These isolated showers popping up as we're heading into the afternoon, going to just put a little bit more in terms of those puddles on the roadway, something you want to be mindful of as we're heading out into today, tomorrow, and looks like it could hold on a little bit into the weekend before it finally dries up. Here's our current radar view, at least. We had more activity a few hours ago into the northern coastal bend, has since started to dry up. Right now dealing with just a couple of light showers in Nueces County proper, but in terms of that rainfall, let's take a closer look with our Chris 6 Neighborhood Weather Network. Rainfall yesterday on the south side, not too impressive. Bent Trail Drive picking up 0.14 of an inch. Down there on Garden Court, 0.16 of an inch. A little better towards Flower Bluff, though, over a ½ inch on Graham Road coming down, and then even the highest totals as we work our way inland, which is exactly where we need them, closer to Lake Corpus Christi, reading almost an inch there on the east side of the lake, County Road 803, the south side of the lake, County Road 364, only a 1/10 of an inch. That's going to be pretty similar to what we see today. Some of these higher totals, like northwestern Live Oak County, an inch and a quarter, versus Lazy D Ranch there, 0.17 of an inch. That's going to be the story we go through the next couple of days with these very pop-up showers and storms. You can get some very high totals in some locations, and not very far away, it's not going to be too much coming down. Here's our Thursday morning, though. This view from our Sunset Island cam, courtesy of Matthews CCAC. A little warmer here on the water, 79 degrees by the Laguna Madre, with temperatures in the 70s across the board, even those 80s as you work your way closer to the water. Port Aransas, 80 degrees on the money, 79 there in Rockport. Mathis coming in at 73 degrees, with the cool spot officially being San Diego right now, coming in at that 71 degree mark. For our dog walking forecast today, we've got Peanut on the board right here from Nueces County. Says his favorite place to take a walk is just around the neighborhood, and as we're heading out there for Peanut's walk, going to be a pretty good day for it. 83 degrees by 10 a.m. up to that 85 degree mark as we're heading in towards noon, with winds out of the east this morning about 5 to 10 miles an hour, starting to get a little bit more of a southeasterly component as we head into the later afternoon and evening. So on the future tracker, here's exactly what we're expecting. Not quite as much widespread activity as what we saw yesterday afternoon, but still dealing with these pop-up showers and maybe heavy downpours as we head closer to that lunchtime hour. However, going into the afternoon, we hold on to a few of those isolated showers and storms before it finally starts to dry up with the sunset tonight. And then going into tomorrow, more of the same. We'll start to see those pop-ups as we're heading early tomorrow morning, closer to that 7 a.m. hour, holding on to those very few showers throughout the day. And as we go through the next few days, luckily the good news is looks to start decreasing slightly in terms of coverage for us at least. Here's how it's playing out on those rain chances right now. I'd still caution to probably have that umbrella on standby through the next few days. Looks like we could see just a little bit more rain as we're heading into our Saturday and Sunday, but overall probably what we're expecting today with that on again, off again rain shower activity. So I wouldn't cancel all of those outdoor plans if I were you. As we're heading into the 7-day forecast, though, still holding on to the mugginess and the heat out there. 89 degrees by Saturday, 90 as we're heading into Sunday and Monday. Finally, the rain chances start to dry up more heading into next week for us at least. Still holding on to those upper 80s in terms of the daytime highs, with overnight lows on the rise from 76 degrees tonight, 78 degrees as we're getting ready to kick off next week.
Thanks so much, Stephen. So officials in the Justice Department are now not planning to move forward with a controversial anti-weaponization fund.
As Stephanie Liebergen explains, lawmakers are expressing their concerns.
Is the Department of Justice abandoning the controversial anti-weaponization fund? Well, that's unclear after conflicting statements from the acting attorney general and the president himself. During testimony Tuesday before Congress, acting attorney general Todd Blanche said, quote, "We are not moving forward with the fund, period," end quote. But he resisted requests to put that in writing. At least one Democratic House member expressed skepticism about whether lawmakers could believe Blanche's testimony. In a podcast interview on Wednesday, President Trump, though, gave a different answer about the fund's future. When he was directly asked, he said no, the fund was just being blocked by the court. But then he went on to express sympathy for the January 6th rioters and made it clear that the fund was intended for them.
These are people that lost their lives over nonsense, where the FBI said, go in, police, go into the... And they were supposed to serve 5 years, 10 years in jail. People committed suicide. People were treated, there's never been anything like this. What happened to those people? And these were many great people. And I gave them pardons. I'm very proud to have given them pardons. And I think they should be reimbursed for a crooked government.
The possibility of January 6 rioters getting payments from this anti-weaponization fund was the concern for its critics. We heard that repeatedly from Democratic lawmakers and even some Republican lawmakers expressing that worry. During previous testimony in May, Blanche said the fund was nonpartisan. He did testify that the president and his family members wouldn't receive payments from the fund, but that really didn't do much to allay concerns from lawmakers in that hearing. When asked by the White House press pool about the fund Wednesday, the president again defended it and said he'd have to ask the lawyers if the fund was dead or just on pause. Stephanie Liebergen, Scripps News Group, Washington.
Now let's take a look at what's making headlines across Texas. Opening statements in a high-profile murder trial here in the Lone Star State will begin this morning. On Wednesday, a jury was selected for the trial of 19-year-old Carmelo Anthony. He's accused of stabbing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf to death during a fight at a high school track meet in Collin County. Anthony's attorneys plan to argue he acted in self-defense. The Brazoria County Sheriff is promising a full investigation after a deputy shot and killed an unarmed teenager. 18-year-old John Mendoza Jr. died inside his family's garage on Monday. A deputy followed the college student home after an attempted traffic stop. Surveillance video captures a single gunshot just seconds later. Dispatch audio describes the shooting as an accidental discharge.
So a Texas teenager is being called a hero for saving his best friend's life. 13-year-old Jace performed CPR on 10-year-old Nas after he collapsed during a basketball game. Nas suffered from an undiagnosed heart defect. A 911 dispatcher walked Jace through chest compressions over the phone. The Chotwell Fire Department recently honored both Jace and the dispatcher for their quick thinking.
This summer marks the first time new SNAP provisions from the One Big Beautiful Bill are in effect. Participation in the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, is down nearly 9% since last year's signing of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. The law cuts SNAP funding by 20% over the next 10 years. Now through the end of summer, Instacart shoppers can donate to one of its hundreds of food bank partners.
You can shop directly from a curated list of items that the food bank has specifically identified are urgent needs at that moment. And then an Instacart shopper will deliver those items directly to the food bank.
About 42 million Americans benefit from the SNAP program. 4 out of 10 of those participants are children.
High school graduates are facing a new challenge when picking a career path. Many students are changing their college majors to find jobs safe from artificial intelligence. Harding High School in St. Paul, Minnesota, seniors are switching away from fields like computer science and data analytics. Instead, they are choosing hands-on careers like engineering and public health. One student actually used AI to plan his career.
Use AI to see like what jobs can they take over. If you're an engineer, you get to design, you get to build, and AI can't do that.
Yet, right? Well, career counselors are advising students to learn a variety of different skills. They say graduates must be willing to adapt as technology continues to evolve.
New research is suggesting popular weight loss drugs could help lower the risk for breast cancer. A study of more than 100,000 women found those prescribed GLP-1 medications were at least 30% less likely to be diagnosed with breast cancer. Researchers caution the observational study does not prove the drugs prevent cancer, but say the findings add to growing evidence of a possible link.
Researchers and health advocates are launching a new campaign aimed at reducing Americans' reliance on ultra-processed foods. Fed Up could provide consumers with information about highly processed products. The CDC says more than half of American adults get most of their calories from ultra-processed foods. For children, that number is even higher. So Beat the Heat is expected to begin today. City officials and Reliant is sharing heat relief programs across the city. Program helps provide seniors and vulnerable Coastal Bend residents the support that they need. This is going to take place at 4 different locations in Corpus Christi participating in the program.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
The city of Corpus Christi will host a hurricane evacuation drill tomorrow. Crews will practice taking people to safe locations across the state during a hurricane. They're also looking for volunteers.
The Corpus Christi Cathedral reopening its doors this evening. Renovations have been underway for nearly a year. You can check out the renovations during the Feast of Corpus Christi Mass at 6. Doors open this evening at 5.
Philanthropist and local businessman Denny Bales passed away. He was the owner of several jewelry stores in Corpus Christi. At this time, services for Bale have not been set.
Today, weather permitting, that is, the city is targeting the Bayfront area and the Flower Bluff area near NAS Corpus Christi, and tomorrow will be the last day of the week-long spraying on the west side. Los Cinos and Flower Bluff, they're the next sites on the list.
A flesh-eating screwworm has been found in South Texas. A goat with screwworms was found last month in Mexico near the U.S. border. Climate change is being cited as a likely reason they could soon move into Texas.
Ford recalling 4,600 vehicles this morning. The impacted vehicles are certain Ford Bronco sports models from model year 2021 to 2026 and Ford Mavericks from 2022 to 2026. Notice letters are being sent to owners by tomorrow. So folks, it is time yet again. One last check-in on the weather, which is definitely needed because it's Friday Junior.
Yeah, we're putting a list of events so for tomorrow for people to enjoy. But first, we got to know what's going on.
Well, good morning, you guys. You know, going into today, we're expecting some more of those pop-up showers and storms like what we saw yesterday going into the afternoon. That's probably going to be sticking around with us going into tomorrow, maybe even the weekend. So I'd caution you to keep that in mind for those outdoor plans, but not necessarily cancel those outdoor plans. In terms of the roadways this morning, luckily haven't seen too much activity giving us those wet roadways. Here's our SPID Skycam showing you more cars picking up on that roadway, but luckily haven't been tracking any of the major slowdowns, at least. On the Harbor Bridge, looking good and green to and from Portland this morning, and 37 and 44 if you're making that commute into town from Calallen or Robstown, also looking pretty good and green, and no issues to report here for our major thoroughfares in Corpus Christi. Even downtown shaping up pretty good, so a good and green Thursday morning, but let's get you that forecast as we're getting ready for the weekend, of course. We are expecting more showers and storms as we're heading into today. Just right now on the radar, most of that activity has started to quiet down, at least. With the sunrise coming up, though, and that daytime heating in full effect, likely to see more of those pop-ups as we head through the next few hours. Here's a view from our studio Skycam, downtown Corpus Christi and the Harbor Bridge in view. Still waking up to the 70s and not too jacket-worthy out there, especially out by Port Aransas, holding on to that 80-degree mark and feeling closer to 85 degrees. A little cooler out there in Duval County, though. San Diego, the cool spot at 70. 71 so far. Through the rest of the day, we're expecting those 80s to make their return with a few additional developments as we head into the later morning and early afternoon hours of the scattered showers back around the area. And this is going to be the trend we remain with going into today, tomorrow, and even for the start of the weekend before it finally starts to dry up next week. 90 degrees in terms of the temperatures there by Sunday into Monday, with the upper 80s into next week. And luckily that rain finally starts to dry up going into Monday and Tuesday.
Thank you, Stephen. So French Art Museum is not amused. Someone stole a banana from its famous exhibit. Now, Maurizio Callejon, his work entitled Comedian, requires a fresh banana to be duct taped to the wall periodically. Several times since it was unveiled in Florida back in 2019, people have ripped the banana off the wall and eaten it.
In 2024, Chinese collector Justin Sun did the same thing after paying more than $6 million for the work, but the museum issued a statement during visitors that the perishable component of work has been replaced. Well, very interesting. I feel like they were just hungry.
See you soon, guys.